with some spots of rain. Nothing especially heavy, although Northern Ireland will see some, well, moderate to heavy rain later. And temperatures not that much improved compared with the week so far, but perhaps feeling a little warmer in the east with the sunshine. Sunday, an unsettled day. We've got early rain clearing, but sticking around for the northwest of Scotland. Frequent showers into Scotland, Northern Ireland, the north and west of England as well as Wales. Drier to the southeast. Monday and Tuesday, another low comes along, bringing further rain or showers, but from Wednesday, turning much drier and significantly warmer.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Are you dreaming of a ton of tax-free cash this summer? We want to make that dream come true with a stunning £76,543 and 21 pence in cash to spend however you like. Put a new car on the drive or just relax in the knowledge that this year we've got your back. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akweer, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
The GB News audience is different, it's unique, because they see through the nonsense.
We want to debate with each other, we want to listen and maybe learn.
We have a chat. That's what we do. We try and have a chat.
They'll watch my programme while they're eating their tea, they'll watch breakfast while they're busy getting their kids ready for school.
We want to hear what matters to you, what is news for you.
And what's brought you out here today?
What are the biggest issues affecting this particular area?
The audience are the best thing about GB News.
Their friends, their family. They're people who need to have their voices heard.
They're passionate about the channel, they're passionate about what they believe in.
The one thing about GB News is you get a chance to speak.
Talk to me about why so many people have gathered here today.
Do you want to say something back in return? The GB News audience is what makes GB News special.
It's incredible to see.
They shape our programmes, they shape our output, and they shape our channel.
That's what makes us the fearless champion of Britain.
gosh. Wow. What a night. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you very much to everyone who's come. This is the busiest we've ever been. It's 9 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys. Tonight.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
Well, Starmer slams tomorrow's Unite the Kingdom march. Shame he's not as bothered about stuff like this.
The only solution is jihad by the armies of the Muslim countries.
Yeah, people just openly calling for jihad on the streets, but there you go. In other news...
The Mayor may well be candidate for Makerfield constituency, should the NEC approve it.
Don't know about you, does anyone here occasionally go for a jog? Yeah? Does the camera crew ever happen to be there, coincidentally? No? Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Andy Burnham has got the green light to run in the Makerfield by-election, but...
That wasn't the question, Andy. You have not answered the question!
In just a couple of minutes' time, I'm going to be speaking to Maggie Oliver, of course, the tremendous person, does a lot of work for survivors and victims of the grooming gangs, about the role that Andy Burnham has actually played in this supposed grooming gang cover-up. Also...
Does this happen every morning?
If you just listen closely, you can hear the sound of the bottom of a barrel being scraped. There you are. A man who is the epitome of the lanyard class, who has no real-world experience at all, is now running the NHS.
You know, yes, I'm working class, I like a dance, I like dance music.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Well, we're going to have a little look at Angela Rayner and Ed Miliband's chances.
Ready? Jeremy Corbyn! Oh, Jeremy Corbyn!
We'll also see how likely it is that Wes Streeting might be the next Prime Minister, and... You know what I think the real crime about the small boat crossings is how awful their music taste is on the TikTok clips. Oh, my gosh, honestly, you should be excluded from coming to Britain for that alone. But anyway, find out the latest plan to stop the boat. On our panel tonight, we have got journalist and broadcaster Candice Holdsworth. We've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas. We have got former Labour advisor Matthew Torbidge. Mixed bag. And we've got a man with incredible taste in books who sat just behind the Prime Minister with a book with the words "The Fraud" written on it this week in Parliament. It's the one and only Barry Gardner. Oh, come on. Come on. All right, OK. So, get ready, Britain. Here we go. Andy Burnham is not the man you think he is. Next.
Very good evening to you. It's 3 minutes past 9. The top stories from the GB newsroom. Andy Burnham's been cleared to seek selection as Labour's candidate in a by-election which could see him return to Westminster. The Mayor of Greater Manchester has been given permission to contest the seat in Makerfield by the ruling National Executive Committee, which blocked his previous attempt to stand in a by-election in January. If successful, Mr Burnham's widely expected to challenge Sir Keir Starmer for the Labour leadership. Well, Wes Streeting has indicated he also intends to run in any leadership contest. Earlier, the former Health Secretary blocked Mr Burnham for a return to Westminster, saying he has the best chance of winning the by-election and Labour needs all of its best players on the pitch. The Leader of the Opposition, Kemi Badenoch, says the uncertainty over the Prime Minister's leadership is damaging the country.
What we are seeing is a Labour Party in chaos. Rachel Reeves said it herself, that a leadership crisis would just be chaos. We've seen the Health Secretary resign because he wants to be Prime Minister. The Labour Party is only interested in themselves. They are not governing the country. Andy Burnham wants to rock up and just be Prime Minister despite being out of Parliament for a decade. There's only one party that is actually holding them to account in Parliament. That's the Conservative Party. And we will have a candidate in that by-election so that the people who live there will be able to vote for those policies.
Well, let's hear from the Reform UK Deputy Leader Richard Tice, who says his party will throw everything into winning the seat.
The selection panel are looking at a number of options as we speak, but we will, I'm absolutely sure, select someone who has the best chance and who will ultimately defeat Andy Burnham.
A survivor of the Southport knife attack says she's devastated and horrified after it emerged hospital workers inappropriately accessed the medical records of victims. A Liverpool hospital trust has apologised after admitting nearly 50 members of staff viewed the records of the 3 young girls who died in the days after the incident in July 2024. Leanne Lucas, who was the instructor at the Taylor Swift-themed dance workshop targeted by Axel Rudabagana, says those involved have abused their position. It's understood the data breach happened at Aintree University Hospital. A Syrian man's been found guilty of raping a 19-year-old woman in a toilet on Bournemouth Beach. Mohammed Abdullah, who's 19, denied the charges but was convicted by a jury at Bournemouth Crown Court. He's been remanded in custody and will be sentenced on the 3rd of July. Harvey Weinstein's third rape retrial has ended in a mistrial after the jury said it was deadlocked and was unable to reach a verdict. It's the third time a jury has considered the case against the 74-year-old disgraced film producer. He was accused of raping former actor Jessica Mann in 2013 in a New York hotel. Weinstein, who had pleaded not guilty, remains in jail due to his convictions in other cases. And the Scottish FA says referee John Beaton and his family spent last night at home under police surveillance following a leak of personal details online. A 19-year-old man's been arrested in connection with a data protection offence. Beaton has faced criticism for his decision to award Celtic a stoppage time penalty against Motherwell for a disputed handball, which allowed Celtic to cut the gap on the leaders' hearts to a point ahead of tomorrow's title decider. The incident, which involved VAR, was the latest in a series of controversial decisions in the title run-in. And you're up to date with the GB News headlines. Now it's back to Patrick.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB digital radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Thank you very, very much to everyone who's made the trip to be here. So great to see so many of you. It's time to shatter the myth of Andy Burnham, the king of the North. He likes to give the impression that he's just an ordinary bloke, you know, Mr. Smart Casual, absolutely. But of course, when he was down in London as an MP, he was criticised for his love of Armani suits, which has apparently disappeared when he went back up north. If he was crowned PM, I just imagine him arriving at Downing Street, just like on the BBC's Harry Enfield show.
All right, Kev.
Yeah, just been to see Oasis, hasn't he? Anyway, but he has tried and failed to become Labour leader twice already. He launched his bid, first one, following Gordon Brown's resignation. He finished 4th out of 5 candidates with 8.7% of the vote. Lost out to Ed Miliband, didn't he? And then second time out, he came a distant second to Jeremy Corbyn. So he's lost to this guy.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
And he's also lost to this guy. Yeah, I wonder if Emily Thornberry's bra has ever quite been the same after Corbyn decided to have a little go on it. But anyway, but he is the saviour of this country, though, is he, Andy Burnham? Well, he went for the old politician's classic today.
The Mayor may well be candidate for Makerfield constituency, should the NEC approve it.
Gosh, it's such a coincidence that the TV cameras happened to be on that exact bit of the pavement at that exact time that Andy Burnham was going for that jog in his vintage Everton shirt. Well, oh, God. Oh, somebody called the press. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I'm so humiliated that they saw me jogging. Anyway, he was actually Health Secretary once during the Stafford Hospital scandal, where, according to a Healthcare Commission report, routine neglect, cost-cutting and a fixation on meeting government targets led to the needless deaths of an estimated 400 to 1,200 patients. He initially resisted calls for a public inquiry. In 2010, public health experts reportedly handed Burnham a list of 14 NHS trusts where there was unusually high unexpected death rates. Critics say he failed to act. And in 2013, this is hilarious, his staffers allegedly used parliamentary computers to scrub negative content from his Wikipedia page, which is, I just think, that's great. But he doesn't care about his image, doesn't care about it at all. As Mayor of Greater Manchester, he missed his target on tackling homelessness, missed his affordable housing targets, but also faced criticism for a £150 million taxpayer-funded loan to a luxury skyscraper developer, but missed the affordable homes target. But gosh, we've got a lovely skyscraper now, haven't we? And he spent 104 million quid of taxpayers' money on a clean air scheme that was cancelled. And Greater Manchester Police, for which he is the Police and Crime Commissioner, was placed into special measures after a devastating report revealed it failed to investigate 80,000 crimes. And that's, of course, before we've spoken about the Pakistani rape gang scandal. He was slammed by locals, victims and survivors for, as they saw it, being part of the cover-up.
For the testimony to be given, and I'm answering that directly because I want that to be known from my point of view. That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question, Andy.
You have not answered the question!
Ladies and gentlemen, we take...
Elaine, shut up! You don't know what you're talking about, love! You don't know what you're talking about!
Well, on that note, I just wanted to bring in Maggie Oliver, who has spent 16 years in Greater Manchester Police before resigning over the rape gang cover-up. She's also the founder of the amazing Maggie Oliver Foundation, which works tirelessly to get justice for and improve the lives of victims and survivors of sexual abuse and, of course, the rape gang. So joining us down the line now is Maggie Oliver. Maggie, thank you very much. It's always an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. It's great to see you again. Could you just tell us a little bit, please, about your experiences of Andy Burnham?
Yeah, I've got quite a long history with Andy Burnham, and I know him reasonably well. I have to give credit where credit's due. He did announce 2 independent inquiries into Augusta, which I worked on in 2005, and the Rochdale shambolic inquiry from 2012, which I worked on also. And whilst I have to say that those 2 independent inquiries I felt were quite thorough and actually gave me credibility because everything I had been saying was true. I also have to say that the Oldham inquiry that was squeezed in the middle, in my opinion, as me personally, not as the chair of my foundation, was a cover-up on all levels. And the final part of his independent inquiry was meant to be the assurance review. And I have to say that that was a complete and utter paper exercise. All survivors, all victims were forbidden from speaking to that independent inquiry. The 2 professionals who had been working on the Rochdale, the Augusta inquiries, who had worked on it for 7 years, resigned in disgust, as did I. HMIC were brought in, and we got a glowing reference of what GMP are doing now, which I can say was not based on a single victim or survivor's testimony. It was a paper exercise where the police were able to say that everything was now hunky-dory. So what I would say is that Andy Burnham really did me a favour personally, and he didn't pull punches when looking at the failures of the past. But when it came to exposing what is now going on, he ducked out. And I think he looked at his own political position. He protected Greater Manchester Police. And I would have had more respect for him if he had gone the full Monty and actually looked at what was going on today. So I feel that this latest attempt to promote himself as a leader of the country is not in the best interests of the country on any level. And I do have severe reservations about where him as a leader, with his alleged duty of candour, will lead us. I also have to say, Patrick, that this is not a party political point, because I saw the Conservatives, you know, tread the same pathway when they were in power for all those many years. I think they talk the talk. They are political animals who really do not truly care about victims and survivors. The other thing I would say, and you know, in the Augusta review, we had a little girl who died, Victoria, before she was 15. She'd been horrifically abused by the rape gangs. She'd been given a drugs overdose and died. She was front and centre of the Augusta review, and her grandma, who then was 80, was paraded out as though she was an Oscar winner and made promises that there would be a new inquest. We are 7 years on, Patrick, and the grandma is now in her late 80s. We still have not seen that new inquest. We have victims that were promised in 2019 that their cases would be reopened and re-prosecuted. We are supporting several of those survivors who 7 years on are still waiting for their abusers to be charged. So, you know, I've heard the words, I've heard the promises, I've seen the political game playing, and unfortunately that leaves him wanting, in my opinion, and that is the honest truth from me.
But that's why we love you, Maggie. You know, you come on, you say absolutely. You know, it's not a party political point. It's just your honesty and your candour and all of that stuff. And everyone, you know, everyone appreciates that. And I know that you can't see, but we've got a live audience here, and I'm sure that they would all want to give you a round of applause for everything that you do. So, Maggie, look, thank you very much. Maggie, take care. All right, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for making the time for us this evening, Maggie. Really interesting stuff. Maggie Oliver there. Right, OK, Christo, OK, what do you think about Andy Burnham's chances? You know, you look at his track record there as well. What do you make of it?
I think that this is the most self-indulgent farce that I've ever witnessed of a completely unnecessary by-election that is happening just so. It's not needed. They don't need this by-election. It's complete time and money wasted so that he can get his sticky little fingers on power, which is all that he is interested in. Imagine if you voted for him as Manchester Mayor. Oh, great, you know, perfect. You know, 2 fingers up to you lot. See you later. I'm off to Westminster. And the thing that gets me the most, firstly, it spooked the bond markets. Now, that's very boring to talk about, but the fact that he thinks that we are in hock to the bond markets, what that means is that a lot of the financial markets are looking at Andy Burnham's left-wing credentials, rhetoric, whatever you want to say, and are very worried. That affects every single one of us that has to borrow anything and our credibility for the UK as a nation that borrows. But nothing will change. This is the thing. Nothing is going to change because the backbenchers are all left-wing maniacs and they all want, other than Barry Gardiner, who is a real left-wing man. No, he's a lovely man. But the thing is, I don't think anything is going to change because any of our problems being solved will not be solved by the Labour backbenchers.
So Barry, would you be backing Burnham?
Look, first of all, can I say, you know, real kudos to Maggie Oliver. And I thought she was very good in the way that she talked about the Augusta review and the Rochdale review and gave credit where it was due. Just to come back against a couple of things that you said in your introduction and that she alluded to. In fact, Andy Burnham sacked the then Chief Constable of Manchester, Ian Hopkins, and replaced him the Manchester Police Service is now rated as good. Look, he's a politician who stood, 3 times now in Greater Manchester. And at the last election, he got 63% of the vote in Greater Manchester. Now, you have to travel very far to find a politician who, after 3 elections, is still getting 63% of the vote. Of course, I got it after 6 elections.
Nice, well done.
I got 63% of the vote.
Barry, are you announcing? Is this you announcing?
No. But what I do want to say is, let's look at the guy's record. The B buses he brought back under public control. They have reduced the weekly commute cost for people in Greater Manchester who travel on the bus and the tram to 20 quid a week. 20 quid a week for all your commuting costs. I mean, that's amazing. He's reduced the rough sleeping. Now, I think you were right in saying that he hasn't reached his targets, but he has reduced the rough sleeping in Manchester substantially.
It's a bit grim, though.
Yeah.
Like Manchester is not.
No, but he inherited a situation which was terrible. He's reduced that, and actually he gives 15% of his salary to the charity that reduces it. On housing, he launched a £300 million investment loans fund, and what that's done is that loan's given out to developers to develop.
Do we think Barry's backing Burnham? Do we think? I think it might be a bit like Barry's backing Burnham. I don't know about what.
I'm just saying the guy has done some great things, and the local people respect the work he's done.
Fair enough. Go on, Candice, what do you think Burnham's chances are here?
Well, I mean, listening to what Maggie Oliver says, I don't like what I'm hearing, because I think these times call for people with courage, who can speak plainly. We've got so many problems in our society, and you really have to be able to grasp the nettle. And she said when things got tricky, he was nowhere to be seen. That, for me, bodes very, very, very ill for the future. I also agree with what Christys said, and I think a lot of people in the Makerfield constituency would say that, hey, we're not just your pawn in this Game of Thrones. We're real people with a real place and real concerns, and you can't just use us as a stepping stone to Westminster.
Quite, yeah. Go on then, Matthew. So you're actually close personal friends with Andy Burnham, aren't you?
I don't know about close personal friends. Me and Andy talk, and I've been supportive of this for the last... I mean, I've seen the problem...
Let's text him now.
He knows I'm on tonight. He might well be watching at home. You might want to say hello.
Well, he needs a bigger football shirt, because he was bursting out of that one.
Well, he's getting in shape for political office, clearly, at Westminster. No, I appreciated what Maggie Oliver said, because it was in the round, and the first thing Andy Burnham did upon being elected in 2017 was launch a review into the failed Augusta investigation. And I'm not aware of any other Manchester mayor or politician whose actions have resulted in prosecutions of those that nearly got away with it, essentially. And that is closure for, no doubt, those that were groomed into those gangs. The homelessness stuff I hear you on as an advocate of trying to end homelessness. Part of that is national. He is one of the only mayors in the world that has launched a Housing First scheme that they have in Finland. He had a success rate of 86 to 94% of people that go from rough sleeping to staying in said tenancy and getting the support that is necessary. The problem is the review found is there's no houses. So once we build houses, that might be able to help. I think he wins the by-election. I think he will clearly be the favourite for any leadership election if he so wishes. He's obviously not commented on that, and that's up to Andy.
All right, well, there we go. Well, look, I don't know whether or not he will win the by-election. We're going to have to watch this space. The date for it has been announced, and it was June the 18th, I think. Wasn't it? June the 18th is this by-election now. So, thankfully, we're not going to have too long to wait, because I was thinking, oh, gosh, we're still going to be here in about 6 months' time. But on the accusations of the grooming gang's cover-up, Andy Burnham has said, Greater Manchester did not look in the other direction. We looked directly at this issue. We held a complete mirror up to ourselves. I see the stuff online, and it's actually designed to create hate, and they're trying to pull everyone apart. Nothing is more important than the safety of kids to me living in Greater Manchester, and any allegation. But I didn't take that totally seriously, as my top priority is a complete affront. Oh, and on the Wikipedia entries back in 2013, it says false statements on Wikipedia were drawn to the attention of a member of Andy Burnham's staff, who then removed them. Oh, good, we've got another one. And on the old Francis report into the failings at Stafford Hospital, which obviously found that they were not doing their job, he says if there's evidence, I will answer it. which is weird because he didn't seem to do that at the time. But anyway, right, OK, loads more coming your way. I can't wait to have a chat about what we're going to be doing with Angela Rayner and what's going to go on. Christos pulling a face, but there we go. But of course, hey, this is something that Angela Rayner would really, really like. It's loads of cash. It's the Great British Giveaway.
£76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash could be yours this summer. That's totally tax-free cash to spend on anything you like. What would you spend it on? Treat the family and friends to the ultimate summer party, or just relax with enough cash in the bank to make this year your best yet. And remember, because it's totally tax-free cash, you'll get to keep every single penny. So, what are you waiting for? For a chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
OK, well, Angela Rayner has resolved, in a way, her tax affairs with HMRC, clearing a path for leadership. Anyone here think that Angela Rayner will be a good Prime Minister? No. Oh, Barry Garner's got his hand up. What will Andy Burnham have to say about that, Barry? Right, we've got a flag coming.
I think they both make good Prime Ministers.
All right, that's next. OK.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
We can allow.
Stop.
You think we can allow.
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you. Bulletins on GB News,
The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
And
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
All right, welcome back, everybody. A special thank you to the lady who's come all the way from Benidorm to be here tonight, so thank you so much. Love it. Love it. Right, anyway, who's ready for Rayner? Well, you better get ready, because Angela Rayner has resolved her tax affairs with HMRC by having to pay 40 grand back that she didn't pay to begin with, and that's a major obstacle out of her way for the Labour leadership, isn't it? Means it's party time, doesn't it? There we go. Does she realistically have a chance to be Labour leader, do we think? Christo? No. Oh, OK.
I mean, yes, I think she does, because I actually think that she is ideal for them. I think she's perfect. I think there is a picture of Angela Rayner next to the word Labour in the dictionary. I genuinely do. It's like just above Lambrini. I think that
Christo, stop now.
Why? Why? I just don't think any of these self-indulgent people who want power for power's sake in an ideological vacuum with no moral compass whatsoever and with none of the solutions to solve the problems of this country are the future of this nation, and I think we are up the proverbial creek.
OK. Some people say that the criticism of Angela Rayner, you know, about we're going to know GCSEs, that kind of stuff, is sexism. What do you think about that?
Well, she's a fellow redhead, and I do like to see fellow redheads in public life, but I think I have to be honest. I think that Angela Rayner, the solutions she poses for the country are just all wrong. She wants growth, but she doesn't know how to achieve it. I think anyone who's looked at the sort of employment rights legislation that she's trying to guide through Parliament has said that will be the enemy of growth. It will not achieve what you want to achieve. I think many of her views are quite retrograde, actually. I don't think that, although I think in many ways she's quite a shrewd politician and she's manoeuvred from very humble beginnings to get to where she is. I think that the ideas that she has and the policy prescriptions she has will not work. They've never been proven to work.
All right. But Barry, you put your hand up when I asked, does anyone here think that Angela Rayner would be a good Prime Minister?
Absolutely. Look, first and foremost, I want to say this. Angie is an incredible mother. She was pregnant at 16, and she said that being a mum was the making of her, because she realised she had to care for somebody else. And then when her son Charlie, when her son Charlie was born and suffered medical negligence, she had to fight for years to get his future secured. And that was why that trust was set up for that house, right, in order to make sure that his future was secure. And originally, the way the legislation came in was actually intended. It was even the Conservative minister at the time who said this would protect, and that's why you didn't have to pay the extra 40,000 on the stamp duty. This was exactly to protect cases like this. Now, the letter of the law was different, OK? But she fought for her son. She fought for her family. She then got herself an education. You said she left, rightly. She left education at 16, no GCSEs. She went to college. She got her qualifications. She then fought for her fellow workers in the union, fought for mothers who were being discriminated against, not given their maternity leave. She fought for all the people in the workplace who weren't getting equal pay. And then, when she was in government, she put through all the legislation for the Employment Right Act, which meant that your boss couldn't just come in the morning and say, you know what, you're fired. But don't worry, come back in tomorrow and you can sign a new contract and we'll take 5,000 quid off your annual wage, but you'll still have a job. And that was what employers were doing, and that's what she fought against.
But now
and if Angie Rayner has got your back, she will fight like hell to protect you.
But the thing is that the unemployment is going up. I mean, there's no point in having employment rights if you haven't got employment, because unemployment is rising. What's the point in employment rights?
There's a chap, I think, who's towards the back who's got a question, and then we'll go to Matthew. Go on, sir, what would you like to say?
Yeah, good evening. Can you explain to me how she's been cleared right in time to help the Labour Party?
Yeah.
It stinks.
Yeah, right, now, on that, who here in this room has struggled to get through to HMRC from time to time? Right, have they ever done you a favour? No. No, they've never done you a favour, have they? Right, whereas Angela Rayner, she got her lawyers to get in touch with them on, I think it was Monday, and the next day, they got back with a response. She gave them a deadline.
No.
It's true, Barry. It's on the front. It's on the front of today's Daily Telegraph.
Well, I'm sure she'll take great joy in looking at that, because I know for a fact, Patrick, having spoken to her and her friend 6 weeks ago, she was likely to be cleared on the Sunday.
Right. Okay.
It happened.
So they said
not on the Monday.
So hang on a minute. Whoa.
Yes.
So
She chose a politically opportune
what's been
moment.
reported in the Daily Telegraph was that when it was all blowing up around after the local election results and with Keir Starmer and all of that stuff, her lawyers got in touch with HMRC and said, we need a resolution to this now. It's been going on for far too long. And the next day they cleared her.
Who the hell would know that?
Okay, so what you're saying is that actually what happened was that she was cleared weeks ago and she's only just told us about it.
Yeah.
Which is political opportunity. I mean, either way, it's terrible, isn't it?
Hang on,
So she's kept it under her hat the whole time.
Patrick, hang on.
But also, by the way, can I just put this? She wasn't cleared, right? She didn't pay 40 grand that she should have paid. She was cleared of doing it deliberately.
Yeah, she was cleared of any
no,
she was cleared of any deliberate. She was cleared of any.
I'm sorry.
Look, I try and be fair, right? But when it comes to Angie, she believed that she was doing the right thing, and it's taken. She put that complaint in straight away when HMRC found that she owed, or when it was leaked by people that she owed that money. And towards what the gentleman's saying at the back, right? It's certainly, if you're the Labour Party at the moment, if you're Keir Starmer at the moment, it's certainly not convenient to have her cleared, OK? So that puts paid to that one.
For her. I think it was her. I think he was talking about it's convenient for her.
Well, but look, she's been arguing this case for months
Well, so
now.
Matthew's just saying she knew she was cleared weeks ago.
It's still been months.
Kept it quiet.
It's still been months. This has been 6 or 7 months of ongoing.
But this is all a bit dodgy,
It's not a fundamental issue that if you are the housing secretary and you get stamp duty wrong, that is a question of competence. That is. If you are the housing secretary and you get your stamp duty wrong...
Stamp duty is a treasury issue as well, if we're really playing, splitting hairs or whatever. And on the GCSEs, right, do you think I'm thick?
No, not at all.
Well, I haven't got any GCSEs, so what does that matter? Yeah. I'm so bored, rigid. If you want to criticise the policy, absolutely, I can see that. Yeah. I can see that in a lot of ways. Unemployment is rising.
It's not necessarily something to be celebrated. See, that's the difference. Now, I'm not saying she's thick, but what I am saying is I think people celebrate the fact she hasn't got any GCSEs.
No, she did what I did. I went much later, having gone the wrong way in life, much the same way she did. Exactly. And yes, certain people in life do things always right. Some people went and got an education and went through that and didn't break the law or didn't have a kid at 16 and all the rest of it. And that's great. And people should be commended for that as well. It shouldn't be just special for people that haven't. Yeah. But there's a hell of a lot of people that go through life doing ultimately the wrong thing. And I think people should be commended when they eventually get there, no matter how late that is. I'm bored rigid of this.
Absolutely. All right, look, we're going to go because the ECHR has apparently said that they will be tougher when it comes to deporting foreign criminals. That comes after a Syrian migrant was today found guilty of raping a 19-year-old woman by Bournemouth seafront. We'll talk about that next when we come back.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast. Sunny skies for most of Portugal this weekend. Same goes for Sicily and Sardinia. A few showers likely in Croatia. Showers can't be completely ruled out in Madeira as well, with a fairly brisk and cool wind blowing here. Plenty of sunshine though around the Spanish costas. Sunny spells too for the Balearics, as I said, Sardinia and Sicily. Some heavy showers though in Croatia. They should be moving away though, so Dubrovnik looking sunnier on Sunday, and signs of things warming up a touch in Rome as we head into next week.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Hi there and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office for GB News. A chilly night to come tonight with clear spells widely before it turns gradually less cold over the next few days, albeit with further rain at times. Wind direction is changing, not immediately. At first, we've still got these Arctic winds, but the winds are easing, and as a result, clear spells overnight will lead to a frost in places. But eventually, our weather starts to come in from the west, and that's going to turn things more unsettled for a few days, albeit less cold, before much warmer and drier later next week. But this weekend starts off cold. Temperatures in urban areas 4 or 5 Celsius. In sheltered spots, -1, -2 Celsius possible. For example, across some highland glens, it is a chilly start to the weekend. However, temperatures will quickly rise through the morning because we've got light winds, we've got plenty of sunshine first thing. Still some showers, especially for Shetland and Orkney, 1 or 2 into the north of the mainland of Scotland. Otherwise, blue skies for Scotland. Northern and eastern England seeing plenty of sunshine first thing. Temperatures at 8 a.m, 9, 10 Celsius and quickly rising. Meanwhile, further west, we do have thickening cloud and some outbreaks of rain moving into Northern Ireland, parts of Wales and the south west. This thickening cloud spreads to many parts of England through the afternoon with some spots of rain. Nothing especially heavy, although Northern Ireland will see some, well, moderate to heavy rain later. And temperatures not that much improved compared with the week so far, but perhaps feeling a little warmer in the east with the sunshine. Sunday, an unsettled day. We've got early rain clearing, but sticking around for the northwest of Scotland. Frequent showers into Scotland, Northern Ireland, the north and west of England as well as Wales. Drier to the southeast. Monday and Tuesday, another low comes along, bringing further rain or showers, but from Wednesday, turning much drier and significantly warmer.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Thank you very much. So, look, I'm sorry to bring this to you, but it's an important story. A Syrian migrant was today found guilty of raping a 19-year-old woman in a portable toilet on Bournemouth seafront in July last year. Mohammed Abdullah offered the woman a lift home on his e-bike before locking her in the cubicle and attacking her. He did arrive from Syria to Britain in 2023 and, of course, was given permanent leave to remain under the family reunion scheme. And it's one of these things of here we go again, isn't it, with this stuff? And I know that we're all absolutely sick of it. Just quickly, there's a chap on the front row who has obviously come incredibly well dressed this evening, sir. I know we're talking about something very depressing, but a fantastic outfit nonetheless. Look, what would you like to say about this particular issue? We'll put it to the panel.
I just think it's becoming a daily occurrence, Patrick, this raping and pillaging across the countryside. I've got 4 daughters myself, and it's a constant worry every time they leave the house. You just worry. You try and sort of second-guess where they're going to be, but they've got to live their lives, and I think it's having a sort of generational effect on our young people being worried about this, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of it getting any better anytime soon, as far as I can tell.
Absolutely. Look, well said, sir. Candice, I'll come to you on this. The threat to women and girls posed by, predominantly like illegal immigration, but to an extent as well from certain cultures around the world where consent is not a priority.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that that's something that has never been considered at all. It's all about the asylum seekers and their rights, but no one ever thinks about us, about women. I mean, they come from cultures where women are nothing. They're nothing. And many of them admit that when they come and they commit crimes. I mean, some of them have just been the most monstrous crimes imaginable. And I think that the ECHR is preventing British politicians from being able to govern and from being able to tackle this issue. And it's creating huge instability. And like that gentleman says, your daughters are afraid. We're afraid, right? Like, we know this. Like, men of my generation will not let me go home on my own after a night out. They stress about the women. We've got to get you in a cab. We've got to get you home. It wasn't like that 10, 15 years ago.
Matthew, I'll bring you in on the end here. Look, I mean, this is. And can I just say, I do feel, and we're going to talk at 10 p.m. a bit about the United Kingdom march and all of that stuff. But I think if you're looking at one of the big reasons why people are going on these marches, it's because of stories like this. I think.
Well, it will be, and the stories that are far too common. I will add, we have our own issues here. That's maybe an argument to say, oh, well, what about these people? And people will call it whataboutism, but it's true that 80% of people in our prisons today found guilty of sexual assault and rape are from this country. We have an issue with men, and that's not all men. I'm not discounting myself included. We have an issue with consent in this country. We have an issue with young boys. We have, you can heckle all you want, it's true. We've written reports on this. We have our young boys being radicalised in schools. We have porn that is corrosive in our societies, where 80 to 90% of porn on the internet shows choking people. That is not good for our young people who are going to grow up and go on to potentially do things. It's not what we want.
So importing people from countries that don't have any view of women's rights probably isn't a great idea, then, is it?
No, but I mean, all right. So I was at the King's Trust Award on Tuesday, and it made me think, because we hear a lot of these stories and the idea of consent and attitudes in certain countries. Young lad there winning an award from Sudan. He went there. He's become a construction worker. He's adding to the skills shortage, and he's got on with it. And I thought, well, it can't be all of them, then, can it? So what do you do? Do you do a blanket ban of people from certain countries?
I think there's a case. I'm sorry, but I think there is a serious case for that. Yeah, I really do think there's a serious case for that. And I mean,
well, you just said you wouldn't ban everybody. It can't be all of them. So why would you count against those that may well be fleeing asylum? There's nothing wrong with them.
I would put the safety of women and girls in this country as a priority before. I mean, we've been far too kind for far too long.
Well, why don't we do?
I am sick of sitting in courtrooms, or speaking to the families of young women who've been raped and sexually assaulted by people who didn't need to be here, and that's.
And we just allow people to do it in this country all the more.
What do you mean?
Well, the only two people that have ever sexually assaulted people I've had to deal with and raped people
exactly. We've got enough of our own wrong.
Well, exactly, but we don't deal with that patch. I wouldn't mind if there was a consistent argument.
I don't understand why what you've just said about the problems that we have in this country, which of course are true, has nothing to do with someone from another country coming here. Those are completely unrelated issues.
Because I believe in providing refuge to people that deserve it.
But if you can't vet people or know who they are or know their criminal past or anything else...
No, this is the problem. They've been vetted. And this is the unfortunate thing. There's only so much vetting can be done. We have the case...
No, I'm sorry, Matthew. When people in the Home Office are whistleblowers to say that they are being told to allow through an Afghan man who's got convictions for exposing himself in a children's playground.
That
is not vetting.
No, that is
not vetting.
That is different. But you're saying he came on a family reunion.
Can I just...
Very quick, we've got to go.
I know it's got to be quick. I think the concerns that you express are absolutely real and exactly what you said. That's why 46 of the foreign ministers from all around Europe, I'm not talking about the European Union, I'm talking from all around Europe, have just met to agree the political declaration on migration and the ECHR. What that does is it will make it harder for criminals to evade deportation on the grounds that they're subject to inhuman treatment, or on the right to family life.
All right, we've got to go,
That's
Harry.
exactly why we're dealing with this situation in the way that we are.
All right, okay. Right, look, up next, we're going to have a couple of minutes for this, unfortunately, but, you know, Wes Streeting, he's seemed to endorse Andy Burnham today, although, of course, he knows he wants a crack at number 10 as well, doesn't he? We'll talk about Wes Streeting when we come back.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits.
You had the power then. Yeah, as I
And
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Martin Daubney, weekdays from 3 p.m.
Colin, it's always an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And of course, you're wearing your full Chelsea pensioner regalia. It's a resplendent sight. Colin Thackeray, 2/3 of young people don't even know what VE Day is. You know what it is. You lived through it. Tell the nation how important it is and your memories of that beautiful day.
Well, extremely important to remember and to continue to remember. It means obviously victory in Europe, and it was a great day because everybody was happy, and you know we all lived through 5 years of war, and it was a smashing time. And I'd rather hope that people will continue to do so.
Do you think the problem now, Colin, is we've got a younger generation who are taught badly, and they're taught often to be ashamed of British history. We talk about slavery, the evils of empire, yet we don't celebrate the genuine heroism of VE Day and people like yourself.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, 2 years ago we were in Korea. We went across for a revisit, and I hadn't seen the place for 70 years. And it was extraordinary. The place was built up and the people were marvellous. And every child knows exactly when the war was there, what we were there for. And we were told, I was told by a 9-year-old, it never occurred to me, that look, if you didn't come, we would be living the same as North Korea. That's a shame, isn't it?
GB News, the People's Channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. So I'll keep this one brief. Wes Streeting resigned, didn't he? Did the hokey-cokey a bit. Now he says he's happy for Andy Burnham to stand in Makerfield. Do we think that Wes Streeting would make a good Prime Minister?
No.
OK, all right. Krista, do you think Wes Streeting would make a good Prime Minister?
Well, he seems to have got the brain cell for the Cabinet. So, from that perspective, I think he's probably the one that can string a sentence together the best and has the views that might well assist with sorting out the country. I don't have much confidence. However, I do think that he's a self-serving coward, because he could have actually stood. He could have actually said, right, I am declaring that I'm going to stand. But no. He just launched the grenade with that letter, didn't he? And then waited to see what would happen, because he doesn't want to be the person that wields the knife, because he knows he might not get the prize. So what he's doing now, I think Andy Burnham might be quite a good... We should have the best people on the field. Oh, does that mean you're backing Andy Burnham? No, it doesn't. It means you're waiting for him to come in so that then you can come in because you're a coward.
OK, all right. Now, Barry, so far you've been very positive about Andy Burnham, you've been very positive about Angela Rayner. How do you feel about Wes Streeting?
Wes Streeting, as the Health Secretary, has...
Oh, you want a job in Cabinet, Barry? This is it. Every single one he's going to be positive about.
Listen, I love all my Labour colleagues.
Absolutely right, go on.
5 million extra appointments in the NHS. 250,000 off the waiting list. 18-week targets have improved. 2,000 extra GP doctors. Look. The point is, the guy has actually got a track record, and everybody knows it. The NHS is improving. Is it where it was back? Is it where it was back in 2010 when it had the highest satisfaction rating ever under Labour? No, it's not. But he's actually moving it backwards in the right direction.
I can't wait.
We've lowered the seven.
I can't wait for later when we talk about Ed Miliband. He's got his stats on Ed Miliband. This is gold, absolute gold. Go on, Candice. What do you think about Wes?
I mean, the clownish manoeuvring this week. I mean, he just sort of lacks the shrewdness that you want in a politician, right? Like someone who knows when to strike or when to move. He just, I don't know, I think a lot of people lost a lot of respect for him. I mean, you look in America, for instance, someone like Marco Rubio, and they see him and they see a statesman and someone who can really get things done. For me, Wes Streeting seems the absolute opposite.
Marco Rubio. You go, well,
I think you're going to have to get a crash helmet for Matthew.
Well, listen.
Well, it's the truth.
Wes Streeting, first of all, if you think Wes Streeting would have Barry Gardner in his cabinet, you're probably quite wrong there, Patrick, going back over history there. Wes Streeting has many talents. You might have to ask Wes Streeting what they are, because I can't tell you.
Oh, here we go. Now we're in. Come on.
He's you know, listen, he can spin a line and that's sort of it. I think the reading of it is wrong, though. I spoke to... I won't say you spoke to, actually, I can't be doing that. But
Name them.
No, I can't. I very nearly did, though. I'm tired and I was going to give it away. I think people are saying he's cowardly. He's just guaranteed him a spot in Andy Burnham's cabinet. He's endorsed Andy Burnham. He's going to be in the cabinet. He'll have a great position in there, and that's the reading of it I had yesterday. Wes Streeting may or may not have the numbers. I don't think he has. I think he had to do something yesterday or his support would peel away. So he resigned rather than launching the leadership election. And the reason, Christo, I think he couldn't launch and go alone, one, the party would be annoyed with him. They'd say, well, you've got to wait for Andy Burnham. Let's see if we can get him in. And the other thing is, if he'd have won and Andy Burnham had not contested it, the long shadow and spectre of Andy Burnham would have hung over him forevermore. He would have been seen as a illegitimate character.
But is he not acting in the interests of the country rather than himself? Hang on, this is confusing, because I would have thought if we were in such a crisis and a vacuum under Starmer that his letter said he would, wouldn't he want to just do the right thing for the country?
No. Wes Streeting is for Wes Streeting. I'm more than happy to say that, but... I would also argue I think he is doing the right thing by the country, because I think out of the lot, Andy Burnham would be the best candidate.
All right. Now look, tomorrow is the Unite the Kingdom march, isn't it? It's taking place. Probably a few people here go... Well, Keir Starmer's had some very strong words about the Unite the Kingdom march, and actually, can I just say, it's had the opposite effect, because there's plenty of people I know who weren't going, and now they think he's just called them all racists. They are going. So there's that. So, yeah, we'll talk about the Unite the Kingdom march when we come back.
£76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash could be yours this summer. That's totally tax-free cash to spend on anything you like. And remember, because it's totally tax-free cash, you'll get to keep every single penny. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From court mornings
to warm family brunches.
From football to tennis in the car.
In the kitchen.
GB News Breakfast is there. With the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
We're here again to start your day just right. GB News Breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Everyone who's turned out, we've got a lady from Spain, we've got people from Northern Ireland, all sorts of stuff. You'd love to see it. It's 10 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys. Tonight.
The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are peddling hatred and division.
All right, I think quite a few people are going to this Unite the Kingdom march, aren't they, I think? And, yeah, there you go. There you are. Simon probably thinks you're a racist, so, oh, gosh, there you go. Shame he's not quite as bothered about stuff like this.
The only solution is jihad by the armies of the Muslim countries.
Yeah, a little bit of jihad on the streets. Anyway, in other news...
Mr Mayor may well be candidate for Makerfield constituency, should the NEC approve it.
Watch out for tomorrow's newspaper front pages when it turns out the press have conveniently been there when Andy Burnham's gone shopping. He's just filling his car up with petrol. Oh, the paps there. Yeah, Andy Burnham, he's running, isn't he? He's running, quite literally, but...
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question, Andy. You have not answered the question!
It's going to be very interesting to see how long this King of the North facade lasts. Also...
Does this happen every morning?
Nice to see we've got another totally normal man in politics, isn't it? The man who's the epitome of the lanyard class, has no real-world experience. He's now running the NHS, so that's great. Also...
Yes, I'm working class. I like a dance. I like dance music.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Well, I can't wait for all tomorrow's newspaper front pages as well. Who's going to be the runners and riders? Going to be assessing the chances of Miliband, of Rayner, etc. Also...
Ready? Oh, Jeremy Corbyn! Oh, Jeremy Corbyn!
Yeah, he's always been switched on, hasn't he? That's Wes Streeting there. Also... the latest on the old planet to stop the boats. Right, on our panel this evening, we've got journalist and broadcaster Candace Holsworth. We've got broadcasting royalty Christopher Fast. We have got political commentator Matthew Torbett. And we've got everybody who's in the Labour leadership contest best friend is Barry Gardner. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. When's Starmer going to realise that calling millions of people racist doesn't work? Next.
Very good evening to you. Our top stories. Labour's governing body, the NEC, has given permission for Andy Burnham to stand in the upcoming Makerfield by-election. The Mayor of Greater Manchester can now contest the seat in the North West, although he still needs to be selected as the local party's candidate. If successful, Mr Burnham is widely expected to challenge Sir Keir Starmer for the later Labour leadership. Wes Streeting has also indicated he intends to run. Earlier, the former Health Secretary backed Mr Burnham for a return to Westminster, saying he has the best chance of winning the by-election and that Labour needs all its best players on the pitch. The leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenoch, says a change at the top won't make any difference to the country.
It doesn't matter which Labour person is at the dispatch box, they are all just as bad as each other. The problem is not just Keir Starmer, the problem is a Labour Party that has no solutions for this country. It doesn't know how to make our energy cheaper. It doesn't know how to get people off welfare. It doesn't know how to cut the debt and the debt interest. All they know how to do is give more and more money for welfare.
Well, just over 3 months ago, Labour's governing body, the National Executive Committee, blocked Andy Burnham from standing in the Gorton and Denton by-election. But speaking earlier, Housing Secretary Steve Reid said the Prime Minister had no intention to stand in his way again.
My judgment is the Prime Minister said the same thing, to be fair to him, is that Andy should be allowed to stand to be the candidate in the by-election in Makerfield. But it would be none of us that take that decision in the end. It would be Labour Party members in Makerfield who choose their own candidate, and then they go forward for an election where the public will choose who they want to be their next MP.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister's accused Tommy Robinson and his supporters of peddling hatred and division. He made the comments ahead of a Unite the Kingdom march that's planned for central London tomorrow. 11 foreign activists have been blocked from entering the country to attend it. So Keir says, we are in a fight for the soul of the country.
But that is not the Britain that I know.
Now, the family of a college student who died after catching meningitis has paid tribute to the family have paid tribute to their funny, sociable, kind-hearted son. Lewis Waters, a sixth form pupil at Henley College in Oxfordshire, passed away earlier this week. 2 pupils from different schools in Reading are being treated for meningitis. The schools have been named as Reading Blue Coat School and Highdown Secondary School. Close contacts of the cases have been offered antibiotics as a precaution. Authorities say it's not the same strain of meningitis that affected students in Kent and Dorset earlier this year. Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 45-day extension of their ceasefire. The US State Department says it follows 2 days of productive talks between delegates of both sides in Washington. The shaky truce between Israel and Hezbollah had been due to end on Sunday. However, Israel has issued fresh evacuation orders today for the southern Lebanese city of Tyre as it continues to exchange fire with the Iran-backed militant group, which is outside of the ceasefire diplomacy. And the former England captain Sir David Beckham's become the UK's first billionaire sportsman in the Sunday Times rich list. The collective wealth of the former Manchester United midfielder and his wife Victoria has reached £1.185 billion, according to the people who compiled the list. That places them second among sports people behind the family of the former Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone, whose wealth is calculated at a mere £2 billion. There's your headlines. I'll be back with more at 11.
Tune in to GB News Radio wherever you are. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, on TuneIn, on Radio Player, on Nation Player and on your smart speaker. Just say, play GB News.
Coming out tonight. Now, this clip is exactly why Keir Starmer is the most unpopular Prime Minister in history and why Labour is finished.
Tomorrow's
Right, who do we think he's talking about here? OK, is it this lot?
The only solution is jihad by the armies of the Muslim countries. Not by you, me, or we. What training do I have? There are people with arms in Egypt, in Pakistan.
Was it the people talking about jihad on the streets and the Muslim armies? Is he talking about this lot? Gosh, is it the people who chant "Long live the Intifada" on the streets? Or maybe it's these people. People who chant death, death to the IDF. I mean, oh, gosh, you know. Or the people who attacked serving members of the British military on their way into the Ministry of Defence. Is he talking about, look on your screen there, pictures of Hitler, right, at these pro-Palestine marches? Is he talking about people who regularly bring swastikas, what appear to be Taliban or ISIS flags, pictures of Hamas paragliders with them every single week? Is he talking about those people? No, he's not. He's talking about the Unite the Kingdom march tomorrow, isn't he? And here's what else he had to say.
My government will not stand in the way of peaceful protest, but we will act decisively against
Oh, really? Really? You're all laughing at me, but that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? I find it hilarious that he says that. An asylum seeker who walked into a kosher supermarket with a knife trying to stab Jews was given a suspended sentence of a couple of years. Probably not going to be deported, is he? Did he give a speech like this when 3 failed asylum seekers raped a woman on Brighton Beach? No, he didn't. I mean, they didn't feel the full force of the law then, did they? You know, they'd been rejected, they still weren't booted out, and they went and did what they did. Look at this from the CPS today, the Crown Prosecution Service. They're bringing in new legal guidance to clamp down on slogans and banners because basically a lot of working class people are coming down to the capital to show their patriotism. Every flipping week, every flipping day, we have stuff like this.
I love you, Rahbar Shahid.
This is Moshtaba.
Moshtaba, our new supreme leader.
And what do you think of him?
He is amazing.
We all love the Ayatollah. Yay! Fantastic. Every day we have this stuff. Keir Starmer talks about Britain. He talks about British values. I don't think he knows the first thing about what they are. When people were resigning from his government, in their resignation letters, they kept saying, "I know Keir is a decent man." I'm sorry, I don't think he is. I've never seen any evidence to suggest that he's a decent bloke. In fact, I've spoken to quite a lot of people who know him well, who say he's far from a decent human being. And let me tell you, Keir Starmer, actually, let me tell you this. His words, your words, have had the opposite effect. I know people who weren't going to this Unite the Kingdom march, but watched the video that you put out today. They feel like you slagged them off and called them racist, and now they're going. Woo! Now they're going. That's it, you know. And what's he going to do when he sees the sheer number of ethnic minorities who are on this march? Are they all far right? Are they all far right? I don't think so. And look at this pathetic video from today as well.
They can see what they want to see, and it's a moving movie.
So a bit like we do with Notting Hill Carnival, we're going to have a crowd monitoring cell that will look at crowd density and give us an idea of where the crowds are building up.
Starmer and Sadiq Khan there monitoring the situation. Facial recognition, armoured police vehicles have been roped in. Let's have a look at the arrest figures from some events, shall we? The arrests at the last Unite the Kingdom march, 23. One of them was a counter-protester. The arrests at the last large pro-Palestine march, 523. Arrests at the last Notting Hill Carnival, 423. Firearms offences, stabbings, drug abuse, attacking emergency workers. And that happens every single year. But what is that? Well, according to Keir Starmer, you know, in 2020, it's an important celebration of Black Caribbean culture and our country's diversity. OK, look, I will say this to everyone going to the Unite the Kingdom march tomorrow. I will. you have a responsibility to behave yourselves, because the full might of the left-wing establishment wants you to kick off and play right into their hands. So please don't. All right, let's get the views of my panel and my audience. Can I go straight to this chap on the front row, because we've actually got a couple of veterans in tonight. Sir, what would you like to say about this Unite the Kingdom March, or whatever you want to say, really?
Good evening,
and thank you
Patrick.
for your service, by the way.
Thank you. Good evening, Patrick. I'm utterly appalled. I'm absolutely appalled at the fact that the people taking part in tomorrow's Unite the Kingdom March are being referred to as far-right fascists, etc. Where Sean and I are staying, we met quite a few people this afternoon, and they weren't far-right fascists. They were people our age who are just saying, do something about this. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
You know, surely, after last week's disastrous results for Labour in the local elections, right, where, you know, to be fair, people are even voting Green, which I can't even begin to fathom that, right? But it was disastrous for Labour, right? Wake up and smell the coffee. It's just, there's no excuse for it, right? They need to do the job that they were elected to do. They need to stop the boats, and they need to keep people safe and stop the destruction of our country.
Right, Candice, what do you think of the general response? So politically, I suppose, in terms of the police as well, maybe, or what they're being told to do about this Unite the Kingdom March tomorrow. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not going to mince words. It's two-tier. It's what everyone's been saying. It's 100% two-tier. These pro-Palestinian marches, people are actually saying things like globalise the Intifada, which means murder Jewish people. They say things like resistance, which also means murder Jewish people. Anti-Semitism campaigners have been saying for months and months, anti-Semitism is rising. Someone is going to be killed. We need to do something about these marches. Nothing was done. We've got to the absolute worst point where Jews are the most afraid they have ever been, and they're saying, well, maybe we'll do something about the marches, maybe. Unite the Kingdom, all British people talking about regular issues, nobody's calling for murder, clamp down. Yeah. Even using facial recognition. It's totalitarian, I'm sorry.
So, a couple of things. Firstly, I've no problem with him saying he wants to clamp down or be harsh on what he considers to be agitators. It's, as you pointed out, the double standard. What now you care about this stuff. We know that there has been trouble at the pro-Palestine marches. We know that for a fact, yet you don't do anything about those. But in anticipation of trouble tomorrow that you don't know is going to happen, suddenly you're wheeling out this video, which is so frustrating. Can I do a couple of quotes from the video? I know you did a couple. The goal is to convince people that Britain's problems are caused by those living alongside them. That's his problem with the people who are marching tomorrow. No, Keir, our problems are created by completely mindless, ideological, vacuous, completely self-serving people like you. They're not... People aren't saying that they're caused by the people next to them. He says, we'll act decisively against hatred. Good, so you should, because you haven't so far, have you? We want to ban people coming into the UK who want to stir up violence. Well, perhaps if you'd done that so far, there wouldn't be a march tomorrow. And then, finally, they don't speak for the decent, fair, respectful Britain I know. Well, Keir Starmer, when was the last time you actually spoke to any of these people? You wouldn't dare. And those people voted reform in the local elections, and then basically he's now saying, rather than actually trying to speak to them, finding out what they actually think, what he's doing is he's dismissing them all, and he is speaking to the Labour Party. Wes Streeting, when he gave that letter this week and he slagged off everyone who was voting reform, they're also all just talking to Labour members now because it's this insular club rather than solving problems.
All right, now look, I think the point is for me anyway, Barry, is that look, there are a lot of people out there that will have a problem with, say, Tommy Robinson, for example, and you know, a few other people, whatever. Okay, that's up to them. That's up to them if they're there. But I think it's the idea that labelling people who are going to this march as all being kind of far-right, bigoted fascists, as this chap was saying, right? That's actually just really offensive to a lot of people, I think.
I wrote down 4 letters when I heard that. D-E-A-F. The man's deaf. The man just doesn't understand. And that's why I have said that he should no longer be the Prime Minister. Because, I mean, you two guys, I spoke to you earlier. There you are, you served your country, right? You've put your own lives at risk in doing so. I think I'm right in saying that you were in the Falklands War. I was. You know, to turn around to people like yourselves and many others like you in this country and say and lump you in the way that he did with racists and bigots and all the, he's not listening to genuine concerns, and the concerns are genuine. Now look, I will be the first to say that there are people, and you've mentioned one of them, Tommy Robinson, who will whip up those concerns and provide what I think are snake oil solutions, right? Tommy Robinson was imprisoned for persistently breaking a court injunction. He'd lost a libel case for libeling and making false allegations against a schoolboy, a Syrian schoolboy. And he was told not to repeat them. And he did. And he did so 10 times. And when the law came after him, he fled the country before eventually coming back and serving time. And he'd served time before for fraud, for public order offences. Do I like Tommy Robinson? No, I don't. But do I think you are anything like Tommy Robinson? No, I bloody well don't. You served your country, you love your country, and you want a decent society.
All right. Well, there we go. And I hope everything he said there was true, because the notoriously litigious Tommy Robinson will probably be watching. So there we go. But Matthew, what do you think about Keir Starmer's messaging and the police activity we're getting tomorrow? You know, they've brought in the sand cats, I think they're called, aren't they? You chaps know what they are. They're armoured vehicles, right? They brought them in. They brought all that stuff, and it's like, oh, is it trying to? I don't know. Do you think they kind of hope it kicks off so they get to call everyone far right again?
I think there can be an aspect, actually. I would say I'm pretty sure facial recognition is used at the Notting Hill Carnival because people have seen what's happened over years, and therefore you have to try and look out for certain people that may be agitators, as Barry would say. I've got no issue with people protesting. I have no issue with people with legitimate concerns. If you have concerns over demographic change, if you feel that your area is no longer yours, I appreciate that and I see that. There is an aspect, I think. I mean, I've been the football abroad, and maybe it's different with the police. The police are the issue a lot of the time with football fans, and I've seen it with my own eyes, you know, and maybe there is an aspect of that, but I don't know. My issue with tomorrow is some of the speakers. Tommy Robinson, Barry's gone over, I'm not really bothered about Tommy Robinson. It's some of the international speakers that were stopped for coming in. And it's the language. If people want to talk about democracy, I've got no issue. When you label people as less than human, and you talk about groups of people as parasites and cockroaches, that happened in the 1940s, and that is a mandate for murder against groups of people. And we saw what happened under Hitler. And I know you shouldn't invoke Hitler, it's a way to just lose an argument, but we have seen that. And if people are whipped up into a state where they believe certain groups are less than human.
Someone's just said, sorry, yes, someone just said, well, what about the pro-Palestine march? Because we seem to get quite a bit of that there, don't we?
On every week. What do you feel about
Do you want to get the microphone?
Yeah, please do.
Sorry, not it's just it's a view, isn't it? So there we go, and then we'll go through. Back it goes. There we go. Go on.
Very eloquent about this one, but what about the pro-Palestine ones that are going on every single week? What do you feel about that?
I will aim to be as eloquent on this then, if that's the case. I have huge issues with which goes on in the Middle East. I have never joined one of those marches, however. I've had no issues, but this is why I've never joined those marches. I believe there are people that are doing the bidding and are useful idiots to regimes that are despotic. I think lots of people are miseducated in the nuances of the Middle East. And I actually think the guidance you raised from the CPS may be seen as bad for tomorrow. I read that as this works the other side as well. You should not be going around with Nazi slogans calling Netanyahu Hitler and whatever else. They should be prosecuted as well. The fact that there's 500, by the way, if that was because of Palestine Action, that's because you turn up and say you support them and they're now a terrorist group. I don't think that's right. The ones previously, there was about 8, and I think the arrests at the last United Kingdom one were only 26, but 50 are still on the run, and 36 police officers were injured.
My view would be is if the police really did their job, actually, you could arrest like scores of people at these Palestine marches if you
don't disagree.
Some of the stuff that gets said there and some of the undercover footage and it doesn't go. Right, very quickly, then we are going to have to go, I'm afraid.
Yeah, did you know that the United Arab Emirates has banned its students from coming here? They no longer sponsor them to come here because they are worried about radicalisation.
Absolutely.
The United Arab Emirates, which is a Muslim country, and bans any kind of jihadist radicalisation.
I don't discount that we have an issue in this country with radicalisation, and particularly of young
we've got to go, guys.
doing that. No issues.
Right, thank you very much. Now, the Home Secretary Shaban Mahmood has said this evening about this. The right to protest is a cornerstone of our democracy, but anyone spreading hate or committing acts of violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be able to deploy a strong range of powers to keep people safe. Right. The Prime Minister has also said that they're considering further powers to ban protests in certain instances, citing the cumulative impact of repeated pro-Palestine demonstrations on the Jewish community. Right, loads on tonight. We are just going to give you now the latest on the Great British Giveaway.
£76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash could be yours this summer. That's totally tax-free cash to spend on anything you like. What would you spend it on? Treat the family and friends to the ultimate summer party, or just relax with enough cash in the bank to make this year your best yet. And remember, because it's totally tax-free cash, you'll get to keep every single penny. So, what are you waiting for? For a chance to win £76,543 and 21 pence in tax-free cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christys tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Allow.
Stop.
You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
The government has announced Wes Streeting's replacement as Health Secretary, and it's James Murray, MP, who looks a bit like Anne Andak, doesn't it? His career trajectory is almost a parody of the Labour Party itself, because he was educated privately, St Paul's, London, fine, went to Oxford. Guess what he studied at Oxford, anyone? PPE, classic. Then he stood as a local councillor. Interesting how he got nominated straight away, wasn't it? And then he advised Sadiq Khan. So it turns out the shocking thing there is that Sadiq Khan's got an advisor. And then before he inevitably was nominated to be a Labour MP in 2019 for Ealing North, a traditionally safe Labour seat. And now he's Secretary of State for Health. And here he is in 2022 before the Supreme Court ruling saying that men can be women.
Because he's not an adult female, is he?
Well, I believe that trans women are women.
You do?
They are included, yes.
Health Secretary doesn't know a thing about biological fact. And is this proof that the quality of the government minister has, frankly, plummeted? I mean, I suspect it is. Oh, by the way, he's also in favour of assisted dying, which I know some people are, some people aren't, but, in charge of the NHS, not sure. Anyway, right, what do we think about it? Because bearing in mind, he's now in charge of the largest employer in Europe, this guy, and he's never actually had a proper job. Christo.
I mean, well, no, he has had a proper job, but like you said, he was advisor to Pipsqueak Sadiq, which, of course, we're very happy about. I mean, he is just... have you ever seen him interviewed? He is mediocre, unimpressive, of no note whatsoever. The worst thing is, I don't either like or dislike him. I have absolutely no opinion whatsoever on him. It's now in Keir's cabinet, it's the blind leading the bland.
Right. Well, look, so far tonight, Barry Gardner's heaped praise on Andy Burnham, on Angela Rayner, even on Wes Streeting. So hold on to your hats, everyone.
Barry.
Well, look. I'd like to be fair, OK? And you criticised Andy because she had no GCSEs, and then you criticised this guy because he went to Oxford and got PPE, right? Let's say he's a bright guy, that's clear.
OK.
I don't know him terribly well. That's all I can say.
OK, all right, fair enough. It's a point, is it? The country's in a lot of trouble. We speak about that a lot. And you talk about the calibre of person running the NHS is one of the biggest jobs in the world. What qualifies this guy to do that, do you think?
Well, exactly. I mean, that is damning with faint praise, can I say, Barry? Yeah, I mean, it's a basic character test. If you don't know what a woman is, for me, you are not reality-based. And therefore, I don't think you'd be good at doing anything. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, so it's a no from you, right? Fair enough. It's a good way of ruling people out of things, isn't it, actually? Any job, I suppose, really. I've got Matthew, go on. Do you know him? Do you like him? Is he a great guy?
A bit like Barry, I don't really know him. The interactions I've had, he's pleasant. I mean, he's been put there because he's not going to run for leader, and therefore he'll be loyal and just crack on.
It's the NHS!
Oh, I know. Well, he's not going to be there long, let's have it right.
Patrick, can you imagine if it was his predecessor, Stephen Pound, who'd been made head of the NHS?
Brilliant.
Wouldn't we have fun?
Well, we would have.
I mean, Stephen, one of the most brilliant, witty, engaging... I mean, a real politician.
Regular on this channel.
Yeah, he is now, isn't he?
Yeah, Stephen Pounds. Stephen Pounds is, yeah.
No.
But, oh, well, yeah.
But
okay.
Stephen was James...
he was there beforehand.
Yeah.
I think, what I will say, I don't know if he's changed his mind, is he made those comments before the Supreme Court ruling. I would hope he obviously respects the law and has changed his mind accordingly, but that's a question.
Apparently he has, but I mean...
And I thought of something that he's done.
Oh, here we go.
He did work in the Treasury, and that is going brilliantly. I mean, look at how great the economy is doing. Oh, well done.
Oh, but people talk about the lanyard class, don't they? And, like, this is it, isn't it? It's like St Paul's, PPE at Oxford, parachuted into safe seats, run the NHS.
It is the worst thing about politics, right? Because so many people have not actually been out in any other environment than an academic or political one.
The Labour
I have to tell you, there are more people in Labour who've actually worked on the factory floor, on cleaning jobs, you know.
But none of them made it into the cabinet. I mean, none of them are the people who make any of the decisions.
Well, Angie would be, of course. But, you know, it is the worst thing about politics that so many people come in that route without actually, you know, having run a company, having done a job out in the world, some of them having to fire people, some of them having to hire people, pay their tax, you know, their company tax. And it's so important that we get that into politics. And at the moment, it's not.
All right, go on. So you're watching
I don't know what it was like when Barry was first elected either in '97. It's having ran for selection before and being blocked. They made the right decision. I don't think I would have been very good, and I would have been calling for Keir to go after day 2, so I wouldn't have lasted very long. It's an incredibly gate-kept profession, and if you aren't already involved working for a politician or in and around it, you don't know how to access this person who could endorse you, or what the rules are, or what the application thing is. So if you are a normal person, you probably won't go into politics because you won't know how to, unfortunately. It's a big, big gang and clique on all sides, and unless you're in it, you're not going to ever get in it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think so many people in politics are so weird, present company excluded. But it is. It is. I'm sorry, it's a magnet for weirdos. It really is. You look around, you're like, what are you? Do you sleep upside down in a cocoon? Like, do you live in the cellar? Like, what is all this about? You know, it's just mad. All these people that seem to find their way, all these snivelling little people that get in.
And terrible shoes.
OK, all right. Well, that's the real issue here.
Now I object.
All right. So, look, so we've done a bit on Angela Rayner. We've done a bit on Wes Streeting. We've done a bit on... who else? Burnham. Yeah, there you go. It's memorable, isn't it? But next, it's time for a bit of mayhem under Miliband. Yes. It's either front runner if Burnham fails to get back into the Commons. I can't wait to see Barry's defence of Ed Miliband. Let's go in next. Come on.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun.
Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News travel destinations forecast.
Sunny skies for most of Portugal this weekend. Same goes for Sicily and Sardinia. A few showers likely in Croatia. Showers can't be completely ruled out in Madeira as well, with a fairly brisk and cool wind blowing here. Plenty of sunshine though around the Spanish costas. Sunny spells too for the Balearics, as I said, Sardinia and Sicily. Some heavy showers though in Croatia. They should be moving away though, so Dubrovnik looking sunnier on Sunday, and signs of things warming up a touch in Rome as we head into next week.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News travel destinations forecast.
Hi there and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office for GB News. A chilly night to come tonight with clear spells widely before it turns gradually less cold over the next few days, albeit with further rain at times. Wind direction is changing, not immediately. At first, we've still got these Arctic winds, but the winds are easing, and as a result, clear spells overnight will lead to a frost in places. But eventually, our weather starts to come in from the west, and that's going to turn things more unsettled for a few days, albeit less cold before much warmer and drier later next week. But this weekend starts off cold. Temperatures in urban areas 4 or 5 Celsius, in sheltered spots -1, -2 Celsius possible, for example, across some highland glens. It is a chilly start to the weekend. However, temperatures will quickly rise through the morning because we've got light winds, we've got plenty of sunshine first thing. Still some showers, especially for Shetland and Orkney, 1 or 2 into the north of the mainland of Scotland. Otherwise, blue skies for Scotland. Northern and eastern England seeing plenty of sunshine first thing. Temperatures at 8 a.m, 9, 10 Celsius and quickly rising. Meanwhile, further west, we do have thickening cloud and some outbreaks of rain moving into Northern Ireland, parts of Wales and the south west. This thickening cloud spreads to many parts of England through the afternoon with some spots of rain. Nothing especially heavy, although Northern Ireland will see some, well, moderate to heavy rain later. And temperatures not that much improved compared with the week so far, but perhaps feeling a little warmer in the east with the sunshine. Sunday, an unsettled day. We've got early rain clearing, but sticking around for the northwest of Scotland. Frequent showers into Scotland, Northern Ireland, the north and west of England as well as Wales, drier to the southeast. Monday and Tuesday, another low comes along, bringing further rain or showers, but from Wednesday, turning much drier and significantly warmer.
From cold mornings
to warm family brunches.
From football to tennis in the car.
In the kitchen.
GB News Breakfast is there. With the stories you need and the conversations that matter.
Anyway, let's talk business.
Well, it has been a historic night in British politics.
It's astonishing, isn't it? We're here again to start your day just right. GB News Breakfast.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Welcome back, everybody. So, is Red Ed destined for number 10? The Energy Secretary is reportedly being urged by members of the Labour left to consider a leadership bid. Now, he does have one of the clearest policy agendas of any cabinet minister since entering, putting climate and net zero at the centre of his politics. Unfortunately, though, it's not really what anyone else wants, is it, really? And he seems to want to stop all action in the North Sea. Got the highest energy costs in the Western world. But, of course, he was already rejected as a Prime Minister candidate, wasn't he, in 2015? And actually, one of the reasons behind that was the infamous bacon butty.
Oh, not this again.
I don't know, because he doesn't like to go on about it, but you had something to do with that, didn't you, Christo?
My dad sold Ed Miliband the bacon butty. It was my dad's cafe. And now, I mean, the thought of Ed Miliband becoming our Prime Minister...
See, I wonder where I left that, actually. You all right there? Got it?
I think it's quite a good idea now, actually. I support it. Can I just say, I sold Christo the brandy.
Yeah. Good. All right, there's a gentleman on the front row here who's been waiting very patiently to get in, so thank you, mate. Go on, what would you like to say about Ed Miliband?
Hiya. At the end of the day, who, other than the eco-zealots, would actually, if you got more than 2 brain cells, other than Angela Rayner, who would vote for Ed Miliband?
Barry? Right, who would vote for him? Oh, yes, go on, sorry, Barry, yes. Who would vote for him? Yes, go on.
Well, I would and I did.
Oh, yeah.
You know, look, Ed Miliband on this programme is often portrayed in a negative light. Let me put it no stronger than that. Actually, if you go abroad, you'll find that Ed Miliband is incredibly highly respected. I'm just telling you. You may find.
Why doesn't he go abroad then? I pay for his stuff.
You might find that odd, but going right back to when Britain set in place the Climate Change Act in 2008, that has actually transformed what's happened around the world. because all of the impact of renewable energy that has come over the past 18 years has come from that act. And Ed Miliband will walk into any government building anywhere around the world and be recognised as the person who saved the 2009 Copenhagen summit, which he did when actually America and China were slugging it out.
What about British voters?
Yeah. Well, OK, in terms of British voters, Ed Miliband's programme at the moment will create a 400,000 extra jobs by 2030.
What about the ones that have been lost, though?
Yeah. Well, actually, if you look at the jobs that were being lost, particularly in the oil and gas sector, OK, 200,000 over the past 10 years because of the decline in the North Sea basin. Those jobs are declining. It's a declining industry.
I think making oil companies actually lose money to be here is one of the main reasons why the jobs are going.
No, not at all.
Well, it is. I mean, I've got family who work in those industries. They're having to move to Mexico, so we can import oil from Mexico.
They're not actually making the companies lose money, because actually our basic tax rate on the oil and gas development in the North Sea is the lowest anywhere in the world at 37%. At the moment, it's higher because of the windfall tax, which I was the first person to advocate for, and we put a windfall tax on the oil and gas industry. But when that goes, it goes back to being the smallest tax take anywhere in the world on the oil and gas sector.
OK, well, look, could Ed Miliband do it, do you think, Candice?
I think it would be the worst possible choice for this particular moment. I mean, look, we're dealing with the highest energy costs in the world. I mean, you had a big American tech company say, no, we're not going to invest because they need energy and cheap and plentiful energy, and you're not going to get it here. I think he lacks pragmatism. We have oil and gas. We should use it.
That's why our energy is so expensive, because we've had the Ukraine war, which has cut off the gas.
But we buy our oil and gas from abroad.
And we've now got Iran, which has put the price.
We buy.
Do not have cars. Do not go to the petrol stations and see what the Iran war has done for the price you're paying at the pumps. The cheapest energy in this country comes from windmills.
You know, you're triggering me. You're triggering me. I need to. If we produced.
I hope what's in there is a dose of reality, because you need it.
From abroad. If we produced our own, we wouldn't need to do that. That's so basic.
It's bought and sold. I mean,
you do not understand the market.
Yes, because what you're going to say is the international price is set by internationally, so it wouldn't make a difference. But we were quick enough to talk about nationalisation of the steel. Couldn't we nationalise the industry if we're that into that? Secondly, putting more oil and gas into the market would bring down the price anyway, because there would be more worldwide.
Yes.
Not absolutely. We import less than 3%.
All right, we got to go.
3%.
We'll come back to stuff. But OK, I want to leave time because we need to do the Greatest Britain and Union Jackass segment, and I don't know how we're going to whittle down the jackasses for this week, but we're going to have a go. That's next.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in, Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
Because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christys tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast. Every day from 6 a.m.
Neil, my partner, I don't drive anymore, but my partner Neil was driving, and we'd been to have a manicure and a pedicure, which one always does on a particular day, and we were coming back home, and we would turn the corner onto a busy road, which was a dual carriageway near the Tower of London, and Neil suddenly stopped behind a car, which was letting some people off into a hotel. And then I said, move, because the car moved in front. And Neil said, it's dead. There's nothing happening. And the whole car just sort of stopped. And I tried to open the door, and I couldn't open the door. I tried to open the window, couldn't open the window. We couldn't do the hazard lights. and cars were zooming down this road at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Now, it was a 20-mile-an-hour limit to this road, which is important, because Neil rang the insurance. The insurance gave the RAC the number, and we then communicated with them. And this was at 5:45 in the evening. And they said, we'll be with you between 12 and 2 a.m. So we panicked. There was a terrible panic because cars were zooming down, moving out into the road to not bump into us. And I was really panicking. And what happened next was that when we decided we couldn't get out, I then rang the police. Now, the police, I spoke to this girl, and this police girl said, no, we can't come and collect you, I'm afraid. I said, I'm terrified. And she said, no, sorry, we can't come and collect you. It was just so frustrating.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Thank you so much to everyone who's made the trip to be here tonight. We've got Northern Ireland here on the front row. Well done. Thank you for coming all the way from Northern Ireland. Benidorm as well. Amazing. Loads of people from all over. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's do Greatest Britain Union Jackass. We're starting with Union Jackass, and we'll start with Matthew's nomination.
My Union Jackass this week is Wakefield Council. I know lots of people have views about flags being put up that they're not supposed to. I like anything silly. A woman has been told to take down her 4-foot gorilla attached to her house that she's had for years and is very fond of because it doesn't suit the area. Well, I think she should keep it, and I hope we've got a picture somewhere. Look at that. I would buy it off her and put it on my own. That is outstanding.
She should put a Palestine flag on it and then never ask us. Go on, Chris.
Mine is for a man who is playing with democracy like it's a plaything, Andy Burnham.
Well, by the way, on the front of tomorrow's Daily Telegraph, which I've got here, Starmer could step aside for Burnham, is what they're saying here. But anyway, there we go. Go on, Candice, who's your Union Jackass?
Zach Polanski. So it emerged that this week that he claimed he'd voted in the local council elections in Hackney. He actually said that publicly. It later emerged he wasn't registered to vote and he had not voted. He has a very, should we say, difficult relationship with the truth, Zach Polanski.
Yes. And his dentist.
All right, OK. Any more trips to Turkey? No. Right, go on.
Well, I tell you, it was a close-run thing. I nearly chose Zach Polanski, but in the end, I chose this guy, Kieran Lay, the Doncaster councillor who wanted a special committee set up to conduct surveys to protect their airport against UFOs. This is him.
I see.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, when the inevitable alien invasion starts in Doncaster, we'll see who's laughing at me. There's going to be one bloke there going, I'm trying to warn you.
And he went on and on and on in the council about it. He just didn't stop. But can I now give you my Greatest Britain?
OK, well, you're going to do it, so go on, yeah.
My Greatest Britain is the councillor who was sitting next to him, his colleague Glyn Whiting, Reform councillor, who was desperately trying to stop him from giggling the whole time. If you haven't seen the video, you've just got to watch it. It's amazing. Absolutely
amazing. All right, good stuff. Right, let's vote on the Union Jackass then. The council that makes a woman take down a gorilla. All right, OK, I think it's just... Come on,
what about the gorilla?
Andy Burnham.
Andy Burnham.
Zach Polanski. We've got a winner, we know. UFO man. OK, we've done Barry's Greatest Britain. Candice, can we get your Greatest Britain, please?
Oh, it's actually King Charles this week, who I thought was amazing, visiting the people of Golders Green. I think he's actually been on a good run. You know, he went to the US.
Certainly has.
Brilliant diplomat. Everyone loved him. And this week, I think he did Britain proud.
Good, well done, King.
I don't know if we've got a clip for mine, but mine's going to be Kemi Badenoch for the way that she absolutely eviscerated the
Oh, let's play the clip. Play the clip.
But then I suppose the Health Secretary has been a bit distracted lately, hasn't he? Yeah, hasn't he? You know, he's chuntering now. Why don't you just do your job? Do your job. Speech. There's no point in him giving me dirty looks. We all know what he's been up to.
We all know what you've been up to. Loved it.
Yeah, good stuff. And of course, she's now almost as good of friends with Nicki Minaj as I am. So, there you go. Go on, Matthew.
This will go down well then. My Greatest Britain of the week is Andy Burnham.
Nice.
I hear the arguments that he's taking things for granted. If that was the case, he would stand in somewhere like Stockport where he could walk in the door. I think to see the state of the country and go, I must do something, he's my Greatest Britain.
All right, fair enough. Right, who are we going to... I think it's probably... Oh, I was going to say, is it between the King or Kemi? Who? Go on, shout the name. I think we're going Kemi. Right, Kemi. All right. Thank you very much to my wonderful studio audience. I really, really appreciate you all coming. It means a lot. And please come back again. Thank you to my panel. I'll see you in a bit. Take care, everyone.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hi there and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office for GB News. A chilly night to come tonight with clear spells widely before it turns gradually less cold over the next few days, albeit with further rain at times. Wind direction is changing, not immediately at first. We've still got these Arctic winds, but the winds are easing, and as a result, clear spells overnight will lead to a frost in places. But eventually, our weather starts to come in from the west, and that's going to turn things more unsettled for a few days, albeit less cold, before much warmer and drier later next week. But this weekend starts off cold. Temperatures in urban areas 4 or 5 Celsius. In sheltered spots, -1, -2 Celsius possible. For example, across some Highland glens, it is a chilly start to the weekend. However, temperatures will quickly rise through the morning because we've got light winds, we've got plenty of sunshine first thing. Still some showers, especially for Shetland and Orkney, 1 or 2 into the north of the mainland of Scotland. Otherwise, blue skies for Scotland. Northern and eastern England seeing plenty of sunshine first thing. Temperatures at 8 a.m, 9, 10 Celsius and quickly rising. Meanwhile, further west, we do have thickening cloud and some outbreaks of rain moving into Northern Ireland, parts of Wales and the south west. This thickening cloud spreads to many parts of England through the afternoon with some spots of rain. Nothing especially heavy, although Northern Ireland will see some, well, moderate to heavy rain later. And temperatures not that much improved compared with the week so far, but perhaps feeling a little warmer in the east with the sunshine. Sunday, an unsettled day. We've got early rain clearing, but sticking around for the northwest of Scotland. Frequent showers into Scotland, Northern Ireland, the north and west of England as well as Wales. Drier to the southeast. Monday and Tuesday, another low comes along, bringing further rain or showers, but from Wednesday, turning much drier and significantly warmer.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Are you dreaming of a ton of tax-free cash this summer? We want to make that dream come true with a stunning £76,543 and 21 pence in cash to spend however you like. Put a new car on the drive or just relax in the knowledge that this year we've got your back. For a chance to win, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB21 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 26th of June. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're
the failure
deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff.
Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood.
So join me on Jubes and Co weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camilla Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
And
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camilla Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.